I'm just going to get straight to the point. We all expected this. Did I expect them to do anything this game? No. Did they do something? For 2 periods? Yes. Or no, for a period and a half, maybe. Maybe really only a period. Hawks lose 6-3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I feel like I've said that millions of times before because I said it 7 times last year. This team was not going to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay is one of those teams that does not lose to bad competition. They just don't. They may lose once or twice to bad competition a year, but they're not going to have stinkers against awful competition like this. And see, the problem was the team actually had a lead in the second period up 2-1. And then collapsed. Do you really want me to talk about the first period and a half before I get to the collapse? No. That's just dumb, and it doesn't in this game, and that team does not warrant a goal-by-goal reaction. Because the team sucks, and in turn to sucking, you lose a lot. And you lose badly a lot. Look, it almost feels like I haven't even left last season. Like, it really feels like this was the exact same game. I've already talked about this team 8 times last year. I am kind of exhausted about talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Hawks losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've done it. They did it 7 times last year. They've done it once this year already, and the only time they play them again is in Amalie Arena. They're not winning there either, and that's the day after they play in Sunrise against the Panthers. I mean, I don't have any words. I literally have no words to describe this game, to make this game feel different than any of the games last year, because they did this several times. There's one time in particular, right after they beat the Lightning, the very next game, they were actually leading in the second period. Although it wasn't a 1-goal lead. I think it was a 2-goal lead. And they proceeded to do pretty much the exact same thing that they did in this game and just let up a wave of goals to the Tampa Bay Lightning that put the game out of reach. And you know, when the Hawks are trailing, especially in the second half of the game, if they find themselves trailing, they ain't winning. They ain't winning. This is the prime example of scheduling not going in our favor. The schedule this year has mostly gone in our favor, getting a lot of the tough opponents out early, but it's obviously not going to matter. I've talked about that a lot this year, and it ultimately isn't going to matter anyways. But, I mean, when you look at the schedule, like, just before the season, this was unfortunate, the fact that we played both of our games against Tampa late in the year. And I don't think anyone wants to play Tampa Bay at this point in the year, especially if they need crucial points. Look, I mean, look, they had a 2-1 lead, and they still lost by 3. They led 2-1 and got outscored 5-1 for the rest of the game, and that was only half of the game. It's just sad. Oh, my God. Oh, man, this team is a laughingstock. A lot of the really good teams from the mid-2010s era of greatness, the Hawks, the Kings, the Ducks were good, the Sharks were good. The California road trip used to be the most feared road trip in the league. Like, you went to California, especially if you were in the East Conference, you had a California road trip, that sucked because you had to play 3 great teams. The Hawks, Ducks, and Sharks have not been able to recover since those glory days. And the Ducks didn't even get to the final. Yeah, the Kings won 2 cups. The Sharks got to the final in 2016. And, well, they haven't recovered. By the time the teams fell out of the playoff picture, they haven't recovered. And that's usually how the normal cycle goes. You go through a period of greatness, then you kind of suck for a while, then come back up. And, you kind of go through the ebbs and flows, and that's normal. I'm okay with that. But I really want to see my team in the playoffs again and not trying to recreate past successes by just signing players we used to have to try and maybe sneak into a playoff spot. I want this team to fully rebuild, retool everything, and get back to the playoffs and actually be able to be competitive in the playoffs again. Because I really don't want my only memories in the playoffs anymore to be distant memories from 6 years ago. And when talking about that 2015 Cup run, I do remember sharing a lot of moments with my family during those times, like especially with my brother, as we were both, that was like the start. That was the way that we really got into hockey. We started following around 2013, 2014, but 2015 was the year that we really got sucked into the sport, and that was what captivated us. And they have one playoff series win since they won the Cup in 2015. That 2016 series with the Blues was fun to watch, but man, was that one hard. And then they couldn't score a single goal against the Predators. They literally couldn't score at all. The team just fell apart. And that was the start of all, just the downfall, the real downfall for this team. They went back to the playoffs in 2020 with the extended format. They finally got a chance to play again. It was great because I got to share one last memory with my brother and with the Hawks in the playoffs, with them playing against the Oilers before I came out to university. Too bad they played Vegas and got absolutely smoked. I mean, everyone expected that. I wasn't mad about losing. I was actually happy we won one game. I was expecting to get swept. But now I want to at least experience the Stanley Cup playoffs again because I know how amazing they are, and it sucks that I have to watch without my team every year. And it's frustrating because my fandom has only gotten stronger the farther this team has fallen. I don't know why. It's a trap. It's how I got into the Cubs, too, when they won the series in 2016. That's how I got to start following baseball. And now we're here for the Cubs as well. I mean, and who knows? The Bulls are looking pretty good this year. If they go on a deep playoff run, this may be the year that sucks me into the NBA because I already love college basketball now. Maybe this is the year that I finally get sucked into the NBA. Who knows? Yeah, and of course, I talk about memories of the 2015 Cup run against the team we beat in the final that year, who actually has not sucked. They actually have gotten way better since then. That team in 2015 was good with Ben Bishop, and they had a lot of stars: Stamkos, Killorn, Palat. But they didn't. They got Point. Vasilevsky became a bona fide star. They got Ryan McDonough from the Rangers. He was on the Rangers at that time, I believe. Tyler Johnson was with them in 2015. He actually is with us. I think he's. I honestly don't know what happened to him. I think he was. I think he's coming back soon, or I think he came back. I don't know. Tyler Johnson's still around. Hopefully, he is not dead, because if he's been back, I would assume it's only for a game or two, and he hasn't showed up. So, but he was like the young star for the Lightning in 2015, and that shift has really shifted to Braden Point now. He's now the young star for the Lightning. He's a fantastic player. Vasilevsky is unbelievable in net. And the team's won back-to-back cups. It shows. They took that loss in 2015, had a couple of years where they weren't, fantastic. Then they had the fantastic season, the record-breaking season, and then got swept by the Jackets and took that and then took that defeat, channeled in all that anger and rage, and showed it on the ice and put 2 Stanley Cups to the name. And the Lightning now, a team in Florida, where many people would say the hockey shouldn't exist, a team from Florida has 3 cups. Same amount as the Devils do. I mean, they're one short of tying the Rangers. They get the 3-peat. They're tied with the Rangers for Stanley Cups. And they've been around for literally only 30 years. So yeah, all I got to do is, realize that my team has fallen off since they won in 2015. and realize the team that they beat in that final has risen from that defeat and become the class of the NHL. Yeah, I don't know what this reaction was, honestly. Hawks play the Ducks next, and that's that. And they got the Bruins in 5 days, along with a date with the Senators. So, yeah. So, this was a weird reaction. I'm gonna say that. Didn't really talk about the game that much because the game really wasn't important and the team sucks. But that is going to do it for this one. So, if you do like it, please hit that like button. And if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, I will talk to you guys later. See ya.